Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we translate corporate jargon into plain English. And today we're diving into a company making waves in the biotech world, Iovance BIOTHERAPEUTIcs. Get ready because we're about to decode their latest moves, and let's just say there's a new face in town calling the financial shots. So Iovance, a company focused on cancer immunotherapies, is filing a Form 8K. Think of an 8K as a current report, meaning something important and time-sensitive just happened. The big news here is the appointment of a new Chief Financial Officer, or CFO, Corleen Roche. This is a big deal because the CFO is essentially the financial captain of the ship. They manage all the money, making sure everything from payroll to investor reports is handled correctly, and honestly, Corleen Roche is set to officially step into her role on August 6, 2025. This means she'll be taking over from Matthew W. Rosenak, who's been the Senior Vice President of Finance and who will now be handing over the reins as the company's Principal Financial Officer and Principal Accounting Officer. It's a formal title change and a big step up for the role. Now, let's talk about what Corleen Roche will be earning. Her base salary is $600,000 a year. That's a solid salary and reflects the importance of her role. On top of that, she's getting a one-time cash signing bonus of $50,000. That's a nice welcome gift. She's also eligible for an annual bonus, which could be as much as 45% of her base salary. So if things go well, she could earn an extra $270,000 on top of her base salary. This bonus structure is common as it ties the executive's pay to the company's performance. But it's not just about cash. Iovance is also giving Corleen Roche stock options. She's getting an option to buy 300,000 shares of the company's stock. The price she'll pay for these shares, called the exercise price, will be set on her first day. These options typically vest over time, meaning she has to stay with the company for a certain period to earn the right to buy them. She's also being granted 150,000 restricted stock units, or RSUs. RSUs are like a promise to give her company stock at a future date, usually after she's met certain service requirements. Both her stock options and RSUs will vest over a period, typically a few years. A chunk of it will vest after her first year, and then smaller portions will vest quarterly after that. This is a common way companies incentivize executives to stay long-term and align their interests with shareholders. If the stock price goes up, her options and RSUs become more valuable. The agreement also outlines what happens if Iovance decides to let her go without a good reason, which in legal terms is called termination without cause. In that situation, she'd get her base salary up to the date she leaves, plus a severance package. This package includes 12 months of her base salary and her annual bonus, adjusted for how long she worked that year. Plus, if she's terminated without cause, any unvested stock options and RSUs would immediately become vested. This is often called a double trigger for vesting in a change of control scenario, but here it's for termination without cause. It's a pretty standard severance package designed to provide a financial cushion. Let's look at Corleen Roche's background. She's 59 years old and brings a wealth of experience. Most recently, she was the CFO at CG Oncology Inc. since early 2024. Before that, she was the CFO at Immunome from April 2021 to December 2023. She also had a significant role as the US CFO for Biogen, a major biotech company doing research in neurological disorders, from 2019 to 2021. Earlier than that, she worked for Sandoz, which is part of the pharmaceutical giant Novartis, as their US biopharma CFO from 2015 to 2019. She's also held CFO positions at other companies like Iogenetics and Y Pharmaceuticals, and started her career at PricewaterhouseCoopers, a big accounting firm. She has a bachelor's degree in accountancy from Villanova University. Her resume shows a strong history in finance, especially within the biotech and pharmaceutical sectors. The filing also confirms there are no hidden deals or understandings between Ms. Roche and anyone else that led to her hiring. It also states there are no family ties between her and any current Iovance directors or executives. And importantly, she's not involved in any current or proposed transactions with Iovance that would require special disclosure. Iovance is mentioning that they waited to file this specific detail until after they publicly announced her appointment. This is allowed under the rules, giving them a little flexibility in how they share this kind of news. And speaking of announcements, on July 15, they released a press release about this very appointment. This filing, Exhibit 99.1, is essentially the official public announcement. Finally, we come to the signatures. This is where the company officially signs off on the report. The report is dated July 15, 2025, and it's signed by Frederick G. Vogt, who is listed as the interim CEO and president, and also general counsel. It's interesting that the interim CEO is signing off on this, suggesting there might have been leadership changes or transitions that aren't detailed in this specific filing. Now, let's put on our analyst hat. Bringing in an experienced CFO like Corleen Roche is generally a positive sign, especially for a company like Iovance that is operating in a highly regulated and complex industry like biotech. Her background with large pharmaceutical and biotech firms suggests she understands the financial intricacies, the regulatory hurdles, and the investor relations needed to succeed. Her compensation package, including a base salary of $600,000, a $50,000 bonus, and significant stock options and RSUs, is substantial. This level of compensation is typical for a CFO at a publicly traded company and aligns her incentives with the long-term performance of Iovance's stock. The vesting schedules for her equity help ensure she's motivated to stay with the company and contribute to its growth. The severance clause, particularly the part where unvested equity vests if she's terminated without cause, is also standard practice. It protects the executive while also providing the company with flexibility in management changes. The fact that Iovance is highlighting the lack of any arrangements or side deals concerning her hiring and that there are no family ties is important. It underscores a commitment to transparency and good corporate governance, which investors value. However, we don't have any financial tables in this particular filing, which means we can't really dive into the company's current financial health or performance trends. This 8K is purely about a leadership change. To get a full picture, we'd need to look at their quarterly 10Q or annual 10K reports. What this filing does tell us is that Iovance is actively managing its leadership team, bringing in seasoned professionals to guide its financial strategy. For investors and those looking at Iovance, the key will be to watch how Corleen Roche influences the company's financial direction, its investment strategies, and how she communicates the company's financial story to the market. Her past experience at companies like Biogen are certainly a plus, as these companies have navigated complex scientific and financial landscapes. Alright, that's our breakdown of Iovance BioTherapeutics' latest filing about their new CFO. What's your take on this leadership change and what it might mean for the company's future? Do you think an experienced CFO is exactly what Iovance needs right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Dick's Dives into Connect with fellow corporate decoders. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.